it's not as hard as a lot of people would think to service one of these things. You know, it's kind of a trial and error, just like everything else in life is. You know, if you ever get in over your head, there's sufficient places on the information superhighway, the internet, that are pretty informative and very helpful as well. I mean, there's a lot of knowledge, guys and gals out there that. There we go. Okay, so we got the head loose. This is the inside view. And then there's the two flaps that I was telling you about, right there. And these have just a slight angle on them. They got a little bit of flex, so that when the air pressure is compressing and decompressing, when the pistons go up inside of here, you'll see right here, there's a piston here and a piston here. And when you turn the pulley, this is unplugged, by the way. Make sure if you're going to service anything electrical that you unplug it prior to servicing it, because there's quite a bit of dirt inside of there. I think we're going to take a rag and wipe this out. You know, dirt inside of these is it's about the same as a car. You know, you get dirt inside there and it's going to break down mechanical moving parts because it causes friction and it causes premature wear and tear to the compressor itself. You have to excuse me, man. I have to go get a rag. Okay. So now I got our just standard shop rag here. Put the piston in the upright position when you clean it. That way none of this gets down inside the cylinder well, because it's a lot easier and less time consuming if you do this way. Otherwise you're going to be having to try to reach down in here, and it's a lot more difficult. See, now we will rotate this and we'll get the other piston up to the top so it's flush with the top of the cylinder, and we'll go ahead and wipe that off. Okay, so now we're going to rotate and we're going to go back here, because while that piston was in the down position, it was able, when it came back up, it pushed the remaining dirt that was in the cylinder up. So now we can wipe that out as well. Get her nice and clean. You know, that's how we like to do it. Okay, so now that part's done. We're going to go ahead and wipe off the cylinder head on the inside, because there's also debris, and checking these to make sure that they're flush and not loose or bent or warped or anything to that effect. We'll wipe her down nice and clean. You know, there ain't a whole lot of difference here between what you're going to see when you pull a cylinder head off of an automobile. I mean, the concept's slightly different, but overall there isn't a whole lot of difference between this and the automobile. I mean, it's compressing. As we're in a car, you're compressing and turning the crankshaft. This, however, is a crankshaft turning the pistons to generate an air supply. You know, this particular model air compressor can generate 160 psi at maximum running positioning. So we're going to go ahead and put these head bolts back in. And now you gotta remember, there's 6 of these bolts. You don't want to put this middle one back in because it's going to go through the top access plate. This one, this particular bolt goes through here. So if you put this bolt in now, you're going to run into problems when it comes to sealing up the top of it completely. And I completely lubed this whole entire chamber and everything prior to even disassembling this at an earlier point. So that's the reason I haven't done any lubes on it now, because my lube reservoir on the bottom is at the full level. Now I can loosen up here. I guess I got a little bit ahead of myself. Okay. There you go. She's giving me a little bit of a fight. She didn't want to quite line up with that hole down there in the bottom, but it's also very important to make sure you don't cross thread these things, because being as the location where these threads are, your standard tap and die set is not going to be of much use when it comes to fixing this kind of stuff. In the event that this takes me longer than I thought, we're going to probably be breaking off here in a few minutes, because I'm going to have to video edit and break it down into a couple of segments, doing as to my time limitations for my video posting at the present moment. But so far we're okay. We're about 15.5 minutes in here, and we're already reassembling. I probably would have had one of my boys help, but they're kind of preoccupied with other projects around here at the moment. And so this is something I can handle by myself anyways. Not that big of a deal. You want to make sure these are firm, but not over tightened. For some reason this bolt is not wanting to go in all the way. I probably have got the wrong bolt in there by chance. That's the one that goes here. See, I wasn't paying attention. Anyhow, not a major big deal. Okay, yeah, my bad. See, that's why I said it's important to pay attention to what goes where, because even me misses stuff that is quite obvious. Either way, you get the gist of what I'm saying. Okay, so we've got those all tightened up and they're where they belong. We're going to break here.